Okay, Hard Time 2020. I gotta say this as a wrestling fan who has been around long enough to see a lot. Yes, I had to take off 10 years of watching it because my ex-wife did not like it. And unfortunately, I was working so much, I couldn't watch it much. I barely saw maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe an hour. Over the 10-year period that I couldn't see it. That's legitimate. But I gotta say this, for the years that I've seen wrestling, this show will make old school wrestling fans happy. It will also make current wrestling fans happy. I don't know about the casuals, but current wrestling fans and old school ones would actually enjoy this show. Sorry guys, I bit my tongue twice in the last 6 days. On Sunday and now today again in the same spot. It's not been my week. I'm alright. It's not a big bite, but still it hurts. You know how it is when you go ah and goes ah. Anyway, when I saw this, it actually distracted me from the pain. So I've enjoyed this show. Was it perfect? No. Stu, I'm being honest here. When it comes to Stu, he kind of was botchy at the very beginning of the show. The lighting at very first was like they were trying to decide, do we really want to have lighting on each individual person? Or are they going to leave it off? But they started doing the lighting on each individual person somewhere in the middle to the end of the show. So it was kind of botchy there. So I'm not saying it was perfect. I'm not saying that this was a hugely perfect show. But I can say you will enjoy this show. First match, Murdoch versus the question mark. It was eventually going to happen. That question mark was going to have to go up against somebody that you can beat and might not be beaten by. Was it a good match? It wasn't very long. And in the end, Murdoch won, which I wasn't surprised. I had a feeling that they wanted to do something with Murdoch for this title. I wasn't sure if he's going to win it or not, but it was like I thought one or two things. That he was going to be there to help others, or he was going to go for the title himself. So that's how I felt about it. He went on. The next match was with Ziggy Dice versus Dan Mothe from ROH. This guy is a brick wall. Ziggy didn't stand a chance, and I didn't expect him to. I did not think Ziggy was going to get past the third, I knew he had to go in the semis, maybe. But I didn't think he'd make it to the finals. He didn't even get a chance to go in the semis. He got his ass whooped. Seriously whooped, which was fine. I'm alright with Ziggy, but I do believe as a character, he shouldn't disappear. He can really be a lot of comic relief. He could. He can wrestle, but he's comic relief more than anything else with all those damn tats and his attitude. Then you had Ricky Starks versus Matt. What was the guy's name? Matt Cross from ROH as well. We had 3 guys from ROH. And I said this in my review. And I'm glad that they gave some time to these guys. At least give them a video to say something. Which actually did help this quite a lot. Well, for Matt Cross, he didn't really get a video. But Flip Gordon, he did. And also Dan Mothe did. Like Grand Moff of a Star Wars. Anyone seen Star Wars, I'm sure you're not totally happy with it or you loved it. Anyway, the match itself was actually quite good. 2 high flyers going up against each other. Matt Cross is actually pretty good. So seeing him in NWA and ROH would actually be alright. I still haven't seen ROH much. I think the last time I saw ROH was 2013. It's been quite a while. I'm not saying we're going to watch it. But seeing that they're going to have ROH guys on NWA and vice versa, going back and forth, hopefully, this will be helpful. In the end, Ricky Starks won, which I wasn't surprised. He's very charismatic. He's very good in the ring. He has the crowd wrapped around his finger, which is very good. Now, the interview with Tim Storm, saying Anderson could not do it because he was injured. I don't know if that's real or not. I'm not going to speculate until I see the next episode of NWA Power. I haven't checked on Facebook or on Twitter. I'm not going to. That's just not my style. I'm not saying it won't tell me if he's really injured or not. He probably might not be because of what happened with him and Colt Cabana. But I want to say this. Seeing that Tim got to... Well, he needed this. Not saying that it was a bad thing for him to have the match with Anderson, but I truly believe he needed this pass. It's what he needed. Now, we now know that the Crockett Cup will be coming in about 2 months. Did not see the Crockett Cup last year. Didn't see it. So if they're going to air it, I will be watching it. And I'll be wondering what's going to be up with the Crockett Cup. Who's going to win it? Now, the triple threat for the tag titles was very interesting. Because it wasn't just like a regular tag title match that is a triple threat where one guy, two guys in the ring, they tag whoever they want. No. In this situation, all 3 teams have someone in the ring and they can only tag their individual partner, which I found to be very refreshing. I don't know about anybody else, but that legitimately, I don't remember the last time I've seen that, if ever. Seeing all 3 guys in the ring. Maybe in Lucha Libre, they do that. And as I said before, I don't really watch much Lucha Libre. But seeing it for the first time, or in a long time, was very refreshing. Now, if you noticed, Rock and Roll Express was very, very sparse in this match. They didn't really do a lot in this match, which was understandable. They can't really keep up with Wildcard and Eli and the James Storm. Had to say it like that. He deserves it. At one point, Camille attacks Robert Gibson and supposedly nailed him in the eye with her high heel. They were trying to find a way to keep Gibson out of the ring so he could not be a factor in it, while most of the time it was... who was in the ring most of the time? It was Eli versus, most of the time, Isaac. Which is understandable. You got the Rock and Roll Express. I still love them. But they are older wrestlers. Even though they can go to a certain extent, they get tired very quickly. They're in the 60s, guys. So if anybody saw this match and got a bit upset seeing the Rock and Roll Express outside of the match at all, and you see Ricky Morton waiting for Gibson to come back in and he doesn't, and they say, oh, this is just garbage because the old guys are not there. It doesn't really feel like it can be important with 3 guys in the ring like it would be in Lucha Libre. Look, this is what you get. You got 2 older guys that can only go so far, and they planned for this. Now, I wasn't angry that the Rock and Roll Express wasn't there. It was just seeing that Gibson was actually asked by Camille, are you alright? He says, yeah, I'm fine. That kind of messed everything up. For me personally, I didn't need to see her ask him, is he alright? That she kicked him probably with her high heels. And oh my gosh, that woman's gorgeous. Latimer, I hate your ass. You got a gorgeous woman. Gorgeous woman. I would like to see in the ring though. I want to see Camille in the ring. Along with Valentine. I want to see them in the ring. But this is what we get. In the end, they got the right people holding the titles now, which is Eli Drake and James Storm. But I did notice one little problem when they had the interview after the match was over. James didn't really get a lot of time to talk because either Dave Marquez talked to Eli and the crowd was going crazy for Eli because they were most of the match. Once they were at the podium, he didn't really get a lot of chance to speak. And you spoke well, Eli. You guys know I love me to Eli Drake. But James Storm needs some time to talk, and they need to make sure that James Storm says sorry about your damn luck and have a little bit more to go with it than just saying sorry about your damn luck. And they go, yeah. Don't think I don't love Eli Drake, and yeah, I do. Eli Drake has been part of my life as the facts of life. And I know this sounds stupid, but this was a good segment going right after the match. No problems with me personally. Now, the next thing that we got This was a match I didn't expect to be great. Thunder Rosa versus Allison K. I did not expect it to be great. I did not expect Alice, and I'm going to say this, because of the controversy between her and when it came to Tessa Blanchard, I've already stated that no matter what, whether she's lying through her teeth along with everybody else, or they're telling the truth, it doesn't really matter about her or what they say about Tessa Blanchard. The company has decided to give her the damn title. So that's just noise. Now, I'm not doubting that she might be lying through her damn teeth and she's a bitch. But I have to say this. This match was damn good. Two women who are very physical. Two women who have been formerly in the octagon doing mixed martial arts. Two women who are known to be very hard and straightforward fighters in the ring were going at it. And they exhausted one another, trying to outdo one another. I enjoyed the match. Most of the counters were very good, seeming to be a little taste of MMA in it. And I think generally both of them do not like each other very much. So that added to the actual match. I could be wrong, they could be best friends, but they tried to make it look like they really hated one another and they could actually have a little bit of beef in real life, so that kind of added to the match. In the end, Allison K lost and Thunder Rosa won. That's another title that just changed hands. You got Melina coming out with Marty Bell. And here's the thing that's a little confusing for me personally. Because you wonder what's really going on with Melina. Is she now going to be done with Allison K after this? Is she going to have her matches with Allison K? And then eventually she's going to turn on Thunder Rosa? This is where it's going to be very interesting, because as it stands right now, you think Melina's the bad girl here more than Allison K is. And she's not acting like it. And she should be one. And this is where it's going to be a very question how they're going to book this going forward after Hard Times. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, they had a segment with Marty Squirrel and Nick Aldis. They wanted to settle some stuff. So this is what it comes down to. Marty Squirrel wanted to be there for Flip Gordon. He just wanted to be there to watch the match and be by his side. Nick comes out and he says, "Get out of my place. Get out of my ring. Get out of here now." And he says, "No, I'm going to be here for my friend. Why aren't you putting up the title? Why are you afraid?" And then Nick comes up with this, which is very interesting. Nick says this, "Okay, I'll put the title up. But understand this. If Flip wins, he's champ. No problem. If I win, I get to decide what goes on in ROH, dealing with NWA. And anytime you want to deal with me in the ring, or your boys, in other words, the Villain Enterprises," I almost forgot that, Villain Enterprises, I make all of the decisions. Any type of matches, any type of pay-per-views. He didn't say it like that, but basically everything. So that was a nice little twist that came with this situation. Because it's now strictly business versus Villain Enterprises. And ROH versus NWA. That's pretty good. I'm alright with that. And I'm hoping they will do something with this after I speak about this match and this show. Now we got another match. And this is a semifinal. This is going to be Mothe versus Murdoch. Oh, that was some hard hitting. There was some hard hits in that match. Ow, bit my tongue again. Still can't get used to it. Missing 2 teeth. Anyway, was the match good? It wasn't very long. And Mothe is a very hard hitter. I can't wait to see who he destroys this coming Tuesday, if he's going to be on the show. In the end, Murdoch won. And I figured this was going to happen. As I said earlier, he's either going to help someone or he's going to the end. And I'm alright with that. And then we got Tim Storm versus... I gotta say this, there was something wrong with this match a little bit. When it came to Tim Storm and Ricky Starks, It wasn't a bad match, but at one point, and I believe his signature move is the Black Hole Slam, which he calls the Eye of the Storm. Once he did that move, and the rest of the matches was great, but once he did that move, and he spun out of it, once he laid him on down on the floor, why didn't he try and take the pin? This is where I think the match was telegraphed a little bit. Because when he turned out of it, I think he should have tried to at least try and pin him. But he didn't. And then Ricky tried to roll away. And that really didn't look very good in the match for me personally. Doesn't mean it was a bad match, but that one little spot made it a question. Maybe Tim was either off in his timing, or he thought that maybe Ricky might have been a little stunned from it, and he wanted to give him a little time, which he shouldn't have. I just don't know what it was. But it was cool because after the match was over and Starks won, he gave Tim a hug, and that was respectful. I don't know where they're going to go with Tim Storm now. I really do hope they do something. Maybe turn him heel. I think seeing him as a heel might actually be good. Not a sinister heel, but a guy who just is so frustrated. He's given it everything and he's not getting anywhere, and he wants to make his mama proud by winning a damn title. His 95-year-old mama, he wants to... She's actually a little bit older than my mother if she was still alive. My mother would have been 90 and his mother's 95. Very interesting. Actually, it's even very interesting. He was born when she was 42. I was born when my mama was 42. That's a kind of interesting thing. But you guys probably don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You move on to now. It's in my face. Aaron Stevens versus Big Poppa Pump for the national title. Holla if you hear me. After they explained how Big Poppa Pump got his shot because he got the stroke from the... I don't know why I did that. I guess I wanted to make it something special when it comes to Nick Aldis, but that is how I got it. And I think the problem why I did this was I wish they had shown it. Honestly, I think they should have shown that little bit about Nick Aldis kind of using his stroke and actually showing him going into the office, or at least saying it in person that Big Poppa Pump got his shot because of me. And I think that should have been done maybe about a week or 2 weeks before this pay-per-view. I just feel like it could have been done. So how was the match? It was just Big Poppa Pump throwing around Shooter Stevens, the 3rd degree black belt in national championship title. This is what you got. Eventually, and I did not forget, I haven't forgotten, seeing the question mark come out in a yellow jumpsuit, similar to the one of the... I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he came out in that suit from Bruce Lee's... what was the name of it again? I forgot the name of the jumpsuit. What was... no, not the name of the jumpsuit. Where is it? Where is it? I forgot where... Alright, I believe it was the Chamber of Death, or was it... I'm trying to remember the 1974 movie from Bruce Lee. Didn't I write it here? I know I'm taking up some time, guys, but yeah, it's my video. I can do whatever I want. That was the yellow jumpsuit and the Game of Death. There you go. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm slow. This was stupid. Seeing Big Poppa Pump foam around like he was a child. Seeing that the Shooter Stevens was using martial arts and didn't even throw a damn punch. Doing punches and kicks in the air and did not even use it. That was stupid. It was funny. In the end, it was the question mark who saved his ass. And then Big Poppa Pump got mad at everybody. Shooter Stevens ran up the steps, leaving the question mark by himself and the ref getting his ass handed to him. This is what we got. So the question is going to be now, where they're going to go. What they're going to do now. Will we get something more with Big Poppa Pump dealing with Question Mark and Shooter Stevens? I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want to hear Big Poppa Pump do those promos against Shooter Stevens and tell him to shut up, you suck. Because that's what he said during the match. Flip. Let me put it in this respect. Just iterating Flip Gordon versus Nick Aldis match. If I didn't say it earlier. It was a damn good match. This was the second best match of the night. Thunder Rosa and Allison K was the best match of the night for me personally. But Flip Gordon and Aldis was so damn good. And I'm glad it didn't close the show. Because even though a lot of people are going to say it should have closed the show, no. Getting the new title ready was more important. So seeing this match, really, the crowd was already super hype already by the time this match happened. And it was so good. I enjoyed this show. And this match, at one point, you saw Flip Gordon do a backflip outside the ring. And it was Brian Hefner's son. I forgot his name. Oh, that's it. I'm sorry. Brian Hefner. No, is it Brian? No. I forgot Hefner's son's first name. I think it is Brian. I'll give it to you like this. Seeing him flip outside the ring was actually nice. Because we don't see a lot of flips and we don't see a lot of kicks in NWA. This was actually very nice to see. Seeing it being done only once in a while makes it special. And that's why it was special here in this show. In the end, Aldis did win by roll-up. And people could not stand it. But now, Aldis can do whatever the hell he wants. Nick has full reign in deciding what RH is going to do with NWA. What the villain... I wish he called it Villain Incorporated. I think that would have sounded better than Villain Enterprises. That sounds much better. Villain Incorporated, for me personally. But Villain Enterprises now has to deal through Nick Aldis directly. He makes all the decisions. He makes the rules on any match or any type of setting they're going to be in. So now we're going to see something more between RH and NWA, which I'm alright with. It doesn't mean I'm going to watch RH. But at least you know, if they time it right, they can at least show snippets on NWA to make it important for both shows. Finally, the final match. Murdoch versus Starks. The crowd was screaming for both these people. Through the beginning of it, it did slow down a little bit in the middle. And by the end, the crowd was just screaming a lot. Particularly once Murdoch dumped Ricky Starks outside in his face, smacked into the mat. I think I got that shot. You can see it right in my face. I think I got it. I don't think I got it. But if I do, it really made you think he got hurt because they don't use any matting. It's only concrete tiles. So you're really hoping he didn't really actually hurt himself. It was a damn good match. And in the end, Starks becomes the first television title holder for the NWA since they said Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And I think that was done maybe 20, 25 years ago. My guess is it couldn't have been, maybe in 2000 he got it, or maybe in the late 90s. I don't know. But it's been at least 20 years since anyone's held that title, since they got rid of it. Was this a good show? Yes. If you'll enjoy it, you leave a comment below. I had to really think about that because I don't know if everyone's going to enjoy this. People who like flips and kicks are not going to enjoy this. Maybe they'll enjoy the Aldis and Flip Gordon match. Excuse me. They'll probably enjoy that match. Maybe they'll enjoy the Thunder Rosa match with Allison K. But the rest of the show, they probably won't like it. Because it doesn't have enough flips. It doesn't have enough high flying. It's not what you would expect. Most of this show had a lot of grapple wrestling in it. It was all mat based, most of it. Not all of it, but most. A lot of high impact, a lot of mat based. So I'm not sure if they're going to all like it. But you never know. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.